you were giving an example of the ego version of when it receives information, as it turns it into a signifier. I imagine that means it decides what it is. Mm-hmm. So my question is, like, what are you suggesting? How do you get to that soul level? Like, do you just, because what I feel I try to do in my day-to-day interactions in life is when situations arise, I see the desire to decide something about a situation, and I try not to. Is that accurate? Is that what you're suggesting? Mm-mm. The move is?
No, but to witness the fact that the ego always takes information that you think is coming through the senses and through your experience, and it always filters it through preconceptions, predispositions, through attitudes that were already there. And these are the standing qualium waves that will give you a reflexive reactivity to what happens. Not a neutrality, not a seeing something for the first time as what it is, but, oh, there he's doing it again. I knew it, And then there's a reaction coming not from the information, but from the animus that has built up from past information that's no longer relevant, but that becomes the scene that is played out in the drama of the ego that will then produce karma and more suffering, etc. So you're always, in a way, projecting. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy that the ego turns the information into, so that it recognizes it. And the ego can stay in its own homeostasis because, oh, I knew it. I knew that would happen, and it will confirm all of those predispositions and beliefs. And so it tends to want to do that rather than to see with new eyes, right? To see somebody without those preconceptions, and to approach every experience and event with that kind of newness and openness, without judgment, right? So if you can be without judgment, the information may have to settle before you make any decision about it, right? There may not be an immediate reaction. There may be a need to say to someone, I'll think about that, I'll meditate on that, or that's very interesting. But there will be a kind of a much more peaceful sense of letting the information brew, right? And then when it brews, and without it being contaminated by the ego's beliefs, a larger sense of the meaning, moreness of that potentiality becomes present. And your mind expands with the possibility of, how about we do it some new way that we've never thought of before, right? And so the mind is able to bring its full creative intelligence into operation that goes beyond having a position about something, right? And so there's no fight, but there's an attitude of, let's let 1,000 flowers bloom. Let's see all the possible ways that we could respond to this, but without having some rigid reaction or attitude. And the more that one opens up to the heart level of one's experience, and to the sense that you are to turn that experience into a capacity to express the beauty and the love that's in your heart in through the world, and to bring the grace of that compassionate heart into expression in relationality, then a whole new way of responding will come, and you will find that you become a different character than you were the day before or even a minute before. And eventually you realize that you are infinite potentiality at every moment. And there is not a single I thought that could identify you. And then there is that state of total freedom, of the all-pervading inspiration that will come and move the body and the mind through its actions as a manifestation of the Tao, of the mind of God, and of the beauty of the goddess. And that power then is what moves you and what is realized as your true self.
I'm speechless. Thank you.
That's a good start. Now be thoughtless as well. And when you're free of thoughts, including the I thought, then you will be in bliss. May it happen. May you give yourself that gift of grace.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.